Today we are going to be focusing on extending the chicken coop, and we're just going to show you what we are busy doing and why we're actually doing it. So on this side we have our existing chicken coop, and we've got at the moment 5 chickens and the 6th one is at the back. Got some baby chicks running around, but baby chicks are getting a little bit too big, and so now we need to try and extend the coop in order for the 3 new additions that we are going to be keeping, and the existing chickens. So unfortunately we have had one of our chickens, Licorice. She passed away about 2 weeks ago, and we are 1 chicken down, so this is a great opportunity to actually just get things done. So this chicken coop we actually built ourselves. These cages were actually just normal cages. These holes weren't there, and they were basically 2 cages with doors for normal birds if we wanted to breed. So we bought 2 of these boxes, but we converted it and we put it on some stands. We put a ramp on there, and so we are going to be knocking this wall down to make the chicken sleeping bar longer. And we know that 2 of our chickens sleep on these 2 bars, the cock and our cook. So this is also for them to utilize, but also to get to their breeding boxes. So if I go inside here, they're quite nice sizes, and I've got the door at the back to grab the eggs. And there we have Clover. She is broody, so when a chicken is broody they get a bit miserable, but you do have to try and remove them just to make sure that they're eating that. But yeah, their food and their water's here, but by extending it we will cut this piece totally out, maybe put the food on the other side when we do open this. But for the meantime, when we extend this coop, we are extending it just to bring mommy chicken and the babies here to introduce to the other chickens. And then when the other 4 chickens are taken next door and the other 3 chickens and mommy have adapted here, we will then open everything up and everyone can just get introduced slowly. So that is the plan for this chicken coop, and we are just putting some poles in and then making a frame. I think we're going to put the door on this side or on that side, either way, and then we're not going to cut this piece out yet. Only when the chickens are introduced do we take this out so they can all mingle. But at the meantime everything will be closed up here. We'll put chicken mesh around and just throw something over it until we get the same roofing as that to extend. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. We've got the framework up, but there's some roots that are in the way, so what we're going to do is just try and axe it away. But the framework is, I would say, 80% done. It's a new day and we didn't end up finishing the framework because of the rain, but today I'm going to try and attempt to try and put the mesh on, the chicken mesh, and you'll see that we've actually framed this in. This is nice and level, that is nice and level. We've got it drooping down so that when we are able to get the same roofing we will just extend it across. And got the door frame in. I've got the big root that we were stuck on that wasn't making that flush. It's now flush. And the same here, there was a big root there. There's still some. But overall, the framework is done, and we just need to now get the mesh on and then hopefully put the door on. Maybe at the end of the day we are able to then bring the small little chicken hut here and put Bubba's in this cage. This is what we have managed to do. The rain just came down for a little bit, so just put all the tools away, but it's now stopped. We might just get a little bit more later on, but that was our rainfall. Roger thinks this is a rabbit coop, but no, it's a chicken coop. But yep, I'm going to be putting bricks, just one layer maybe, across the bottom. The mesh is a little bit sharp. I have injuries all over and I can't wear gloves because I need to grip the mesh, so I had to have a brutal hammer here. This little coop is looking pretty cool. Hey Roger, what do you think about the coop? Yeah, Roger loves it. So yeah, let me carry on while the rain has now stopped. Okay, I'm calling it a wrap today. We've got the door in, we got all the mesh, but the machine battery has just died and it is late afternoon, so I'm going to call it a day and we will pick this up during the weekend again. Okay, we've just finished the chicken coop. I've just put the door in. It opens, it fits snug under the roof there. Tomorrow we'll just put some bricks on the outside going around, just to make sure that nobody gets hurt with the wire that I put underground there. And tomorrow we'll just bring chicken coop, put it over here and slowly start introducing the chickens to the baby chickens to the big chickens. So that is the coop all done. Just need to bring something over it, but that's not necessary right now. Pretty chuffed. Okay, so we have finally completed the chicken coop. We have put some green shade over it because when we put the baby chickens in, they nearly flew out. They were very, very scared. It was very traumatic for them. We've had to try improvise here because they got stuck up here. So now that everything is safe, the only thing to do is just get a piece of wood that shapes this little gap there, because we don't want what happened to Emma when we first got Emma, to get her head stuck there, get stuck and die. And that was very, very sad. So the door just needs some wood strips. There's some sharp edges here that I keep hurting my hand, and then also when we want to open and close. So that is the one thing I have to do, is just make that safer, and then the wood piece at the bottom. But let me take you inside to show you. It's quite spacious, especially for the babies, and got their coop that they're very familiar with because they were born and then came straight here with mommy. They like to sit on the top, but I think we have 2 of them inside, still a little bit too scared to come out. Then we've got the others over here that also like to go underneath their coop. I'm going to make a little stand there for them to perch. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed it, give it a like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.